We're going to read it one more time, but we're going to talk about our feelings. And let's see if all you know about this book.
You read it.
I'll read it. Archie, look what I found, Peter shouted through the pipe. Motorcycle goggles. Archie watched Peter through the hole. He listened and he smiled. Wow, when Peter found those goggles, did you see that? He must have been really excited to find something new. Show me what your face looks like when you're really excited. This is how I am when I'm really excited. I found these new goggles. He's really excited about this.
Is that Peter?
This is Peter. He found the new goggles. Peter ran to the hideout and put on the goggles. Aren't they great? He asked. Archie smiled and he nodded. Peter said, let's go over to your house and sit on the steps. Archie nodded. So Peter didn't put on the goggles until he came to the hideout, right? So first he showed it to Archie and Willie. He's like, look at my goggles. And Archie really, really liked it. So I think Peter wants to show off his goggles to all the kids in the neighborhood. And I think that's why Peter is saying you should go to your house. Then he has his eyes on me.
The big boy.
So they started. Suddenly, some big boys appeared. Give us those goggles, kid. No, they're mine, Peter said. His dog, Willie, growled. He growled. Archie, hold Willie, said Peter. Uh-oh, I'm going to stop and think. They ran into the big boys, and they're like, give me those goggles, kid, right? They're not being nice. And it was really brave of Peter to stand up, in front of the boys and to say no. And look, Willie, he growled because Willie wanted to protect
He
Peter.
said, I don't have them.
He should have said, I don't have it, but look, he's wearing it. So the big boys can actually see him wearing it. And Willie is being very loyal. Loyal is what you do. Loyal means that you care about someone so much, that you love someone so much, that you would do anything to help them. So Willie's being loyal, and Peter says, no, I won't give them to you, they're mine. But you know what I think? I think deep down inside, Peter is probably feeling very scared and the big boys. Peter stuffed the goggles into his pocket and put up his fist. Archie gasped. Gasp is what you do when people are surprised. Peter turned to see if something was wrong. So even though Peter is feeling really nervous inside, right? He tried to show them that he's not nervous by putting up his fist. And I think Peter wants to fight. That's a really bad choice that they're making. And Peter would rather fight to protect his goggles rather than to give it to them. Remember in the beginning when Peter was saying, look, Archie. Remember, he was like, I found the goggles. He was feeling really excited and he really likes his new goggles. And now that the big boys are trying to take it away, Peter would rather fight with them and protect his goggles rather than to give it to them. So after Peter puts up his fist, Archie gasped. Gasp is what you do when people are worried or surprised. And I think Archie is surprised because he's afraid that Peter might fight and then he might get hurt. Show me what it looks like when you gasp. Everyone, let's try. Ready?
Peter just fights.
Lizzie. This is how you gasp. The next thing he knew, Peter was knocked to the ground. Everyone stared at the goggles. Oh my, look at Peter. I'm pretty sure he's
gonna get it.
Yeah, Willie's gonna get it when he comes out. I'm sure Peter is feeling really upset because first of all, I think the big boys either pushed or punched Peter, so he got knocked down to the ground. And he probably got really hurt. And then second, look at his goggles. It's on the floor now. Peter really liked it, so he put it into his pocket, but it fell on the floor. And the big boys might get it. Alright, Serena is looking at before anyone could move, Willie snatched the goggles and ran through the hole in the fence. The big boys chased after him. I will that way. You won't know where we're going. So Billy, they're doing teamwork. You guys, we worked together as a team to clean up the blocks before, right? And now they're working as a team. Willie snatched the goggles, right, and ran through the hole so that the big boys couldn't follow him. And Peter tells Archie that they will meet at the hideout. Hideout is the secret place that only the three of them know. So they'll meet at the hideout, and they're going in different directions. And he has our eyes on me. All right. Peter raced to the hideout. He sank down, he slouched as low as he could. Footsteps. The big boys, they followed me. Peter held his breath. We know that's not the case, right? Because we read the book. But think about Peter at this moment. Peter is probably feeling really nervous. He's probably very worried and scared because Peter doesn't know where Willie or Archie is. So he thinks it might be the big boys. I bet he's feeling so nervous at this point. Nervous is how you feel when you're worried or uncertain or scared about what's going to happen. Archie! Oh, so you were right, Annie. It was Archie who came. Peter, I'm sure Peter feels relieved. Relieved is the feeling that you get when you're not worried anymore. So he probably feels relieved that it was Archie and not the big thing. What was that? Archie looked through the hole. He's looking through the hole because I think they're hearing footsteps again. And they're probably feeling really nervous again right now because they don't know where Willie is. There were the big boys, and there was Willie. They would see him. The big boys are so close to Willie. Oh my goodness, they might find out where Willie is. And Archie sees Willie, right? But he can't do anything about it. Why? Because they're the big boys. If Archie goes out and says, Willie, come here, or if Archie goes out to get Willie, the big boys would see him, right? That's a problem. So Archie stared at the pipe. Suddenly he spoke. Here, Willie, throw the pipe. Fast. So I see that Archie had got an idea. He spoke through the pipe because then Willie will be able to hear it through the other end of the pipe. And look at Willie. He's so skinny and small, right? He's so skinny and small, he could probably fit into that pipe. But the big boys, they're too tall and thick, they won't fit in. That's a good idea, Archie. Let's do thumbs up, Archie. Thumbs up, Archie. Willie, look, Willie made it safely back. Now I'm sure that Peter and Archie feel so relieved. They're not worried. Because Willie came back with their goggles. And they could trust Willie. They could count on Willie. They could trust him to bring back the goggles. So, Jaymont, keep your hands to yourself. Serena's keeping your hands to yourself. So Peter peeked through the hole. Uh-oh. Are the big boys gone? There, the big boys were coming closer and closer and closer. And I bet Peter, Archie, and Willie feel so nervous and anxious at this point. But they're coming closer right now, and they feel so anxious and nervous because what will happen if the big boys keep coming closer? They're going to come Right, so they have to come up with a good solution to solve this problem. So what did they say? Peter took a deep breath. Boys and girls, let's stop and take a breath. Peter took a deep breath. Like so that means that Peter took a deep breath means that Peter was feeling really nervous and anxious. So he figures out that he needs to calm down. And we can take a deep breath in order to calm down when you're feeling anxious or worried or angry or frustrated, right? And when we're calm, boys and girls, we can make better decisions. So let's practice taking a deep breath. Everyone, inhale.
We did that before.
Okay, we're going to try it again. I see Wonjun is very calm, right? Try to take a deep breath. So, and then Peter yelled through the pipe. What did he yell? Willie, meet us at the parking lot. Head for the parking lot, one of the big boys yelled. Let's go. So Peter, after calming down, comes up with a really good idea. He came up with a solution. He decides to trick the boys so that the big boys think that they're going to the parking lot. See, when you're calm, you can make better decisions and better choices. So thumbs up, Peter. So Peter, Archie, and Willie crept out of the hideout. To creep means When they reached the fence, they got off and they ran. They were running as fast as they could so that the big boys wouldn't find them out. They got to Archie's house. Archie laughed and said, "We sure fooled them, didn't we?" "We sure did," said Peter, handing him the goggles. "Things look real fine now," Archie said. "They sure do," said Peter. Yeah, so I'm so glad they were able to run out of the hideout, right? And they safely arrived at Archie's place. And do you remember why Peter wanted to come to Archie's steps? Do you remember? Why did Peter want to come up here? So that he could show off his goggles to all the kids in the neighborhood. And now all the kids can see Peter's cool goggles and they're having a good time. Alright, everyone, now I need you to take out your thinking caps. Bring your thinking caps. Wave it around. Well, you can fix it, right? You can solve the problem and fix it. Alright, put it on your head. Put it on your head. And raise a quiet hand if you have an answer. Let me see if you can answer my question. Yours exploded? Oh, you need a bigger one. Alright, this is the scene. Serena has her eyes on me. Vincent has his eyes on me. This is the scene where the big boy, Peter and his friends meet the big boys for the first time, and the big boys say, "Give me those goggles, kid." And Peter says, "No." How do you think Peter was feeling at this time? How do you think Peter was feeling? Isaac has a quiet hand.
Renee, wash your hands first. Renee, wash your hands first before you come.
Goggles don't he cannot go to the place so they will get inside our house so they will get this black goggles.
He didn't want to give the goggles. So he was feeling like he didn't want to give the goggles? How else do you think what he was feeling?
Angry.
He was feeling angry? He could have felt angry. What else? What other feelings was he going through? How was Peter feeling? I bet Peter was feeling really nervous, right? And worried and probably anxious. And then look here. Peter didn't want to give his goggles. He would rather fight with the big boys than to give up his goggles. Why didn't Peter give the big boys his goggles? When they asked him, "Annie, why didn't he give it?"
Because he said, "Give me those goggles."
And Peter didn't give it to them. Why didn't Peter give it to them? Why not? Peter could have just said, "Okay, here are the goggles," and Peter could have just given it to them, but he said no, and then the big boys pushed him to the ground and he got knocked down. Why didn't Peter give it to them?
And you can smash the guys in their shoes with a tummy.
Uh-oh. That would be a very bad choice, right? We don't want that to happen.
And they would bleed.
But why didn't Peter give the goggles? Benny? Because he found them, right? Benny says because he found them. Remember in the beginning, Peter was so excited to find the goggles, right? I bet he was so excited and he liked his goggles so much that he didn't want to give them. Alright, good job everyone. Let's give ourselves a round of applause.